Blacklist Hunter here, and today I wanted to talk a bit about Wing, the Nen teacher of Gon, Killua, and first and foremost Zushi. I see so many people underestimating Wing, and I think Wing in reality is stronger than we might think. Wing, before becoming a teacher and master of Nen himself, he was the student of Bisky, who as we all know is a double star hunter with extreme skill and ultimate Nen proficiency. To get Bisky herself to teach you Nen is something else. She might have seen something in Wing, but she did know that he wasn't the best at learning, but most suited to teaching. Wing definitely is not at the level of Nen geniuses like Hisoka, Illumi and others, but he is without a doubt an excellent level user of Nen who can give most hunters a tough battle, like for example Satots, Bohara, Menchi, Lippo and others. That's what I personally believe. There is absolutely no way Wing is weak. At Heaven's Arena, he first didn't teach Gon and Killua the real Nen because Netero may have contacted him later, but his malicious aura directed towards Killua was evil enough to make Killua jump in fear. But that's not a feat, as even Zushi was able to intimidate Killua in their fight. Wing is a student of the Shingen-Ryu Kung Fu style, which Netero practiced and honed all his life. We know Wing managed to reach the rank of assistant master in a specific unknown dojo. That is an impressive achievement, and in that dojo Wing without a doubt has sparred and even managed to defeat many students who probably had decent skill with Nen. Wing is without a doubt very skilled with Nen. He knows all the advanced applications of it, but probably cannot advance them at the high levels. For example, he cannot use N at a wide radius like Kai did, but he can use it somehow. Through Wing, we saw how Hisoka used the cards as a deadly weapon by enveloping the card with aura, an advanced application called Shu, which Wing demonstrated to Zushi by ripping a piece of paper and throwing it precisely and splitting a can in two. Wing, without breaking a sweat and pretty easily, demonstrated to Gon and Killua the power of Nen by releasing his aura into the wall and making huge damage to it. We did see Wing was disturbed by Hisoka's evil aura, but that is understandable as Hisoka's aura is really evil, and Wing is also very observant. He can analyze quickly any fight, like for example Gon versus Gedo, and he was impressed on how Gon learned Zetsu by himself, which he displayed during his fight. The most impressive thing about Wing, however, is his teaching, and it's very true as Bisky stated. He managed to open the aura nodes of Gon and Killua without hurting them. If this was done by your average user of Nen, their bodies would get destroyed in that process. Gon and Killua, thanks to Wing and their immense talent which shocked even Wing himself, were able to pass through Hisoka's barrier pretty easily, which we have to note was at a higher level than Wing and with even more malicious intent and bloodlust. Wing certainly is not a coward, but he has shown to get excited or amazed at the fact that Gon and Killua are so incredible, and at one point he even regretted teaching them Nen, but Killua said to him that they would have learned Nen sooner or later. We also have seen Wing activate his aura, which was noticed by Zushi himself, and Wing states that, "Have I awakened a terrible monster?" referring to Gon and Killua. In fact, Wing has done this a couple of times. He sees the talent and aura of Gon and Killua, their aura flow, and he activates his own aura. Wing probably has never seen such talent like Gon and Killua. Zushi is at a certain level, but as Wing stated, Zushi is a 1 in 100,000 talent, while Gon and Killua are 1 in 10 million talents. And speaking of Zushi, he has incredible potential. He managed to open his aura nodes through the slow method by meditating, which is very impressive. At his age, he has learned Ten, Ren, Gyo and other principles. Zushi is certainly very strong-willed as he refused to give up against Killua even though he was getting slapped around, maintaining 10 throughout the whole fight and even using Ren, thus managing to scare Killua off. He was even praised by Killua himself for his martial arts skills and his growth potential. Furthermore, Zushi stated that he will catch up to Gon and Killua someday, and that is Togashi saying to us that Zushi is gonna become someone extremely strong. In the last mission movie, although it's not canon, Zushi has already reached the level of floor master in Heaven's Arena. That is the highest point you can reach in Heaven's Arena, and you have to fight the strongest Nen users. We know Zushi's Nen affinity is manipulation, while Wing's Nen's affinity is an enhancer just like Gon. Wing is certainly very smart. He even gave Gon great advice when Gon was trying to come up with a Hatsu ability to pass Tesgera's test and enter Greed Island, showing furthermore his excellent teaching skills regarding Nen by convincing Gon to not focus on Nen restrictions like Kurapika, as enhancers do not need that, but simply to activate all what is learned at once. Wing even has some exclusive knowledge of Nen, as he knows about the Nen-like inscriptions which react only when aura is used, like the string he put on Gon's finger as a promise he won't practice Nen, which in reality was a string that would instantly get dissolved if Nen was used at any time. Wing was trained by Biscuit Kruger, imagine that, and he must have a good Hatsu ability as well. Combine that with the martial art knowledge, Wing is certainly no pushover, and he can give most Nen users a tough match. If Hunter x Hunter continues and we see more and more chapters, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw even a completely different Zushi with a manipulation OP Hatsu ability and a master of fighting. Zushi was ready to lose thousands of times in Heaven's Arena so he could finally reach the top floor with hard work, and Wing was there to teach him at every step he took. Definitely two underrated characters.